Hey everybody, how you doing? Oh my gosh, how's everybody doing? Oh, I am feeling much better. I know the last time I did live a couple days ago, I was still hanging on by a thread. I still have some sinus drainage situations going on, but other than that, I'm doing pretty good. I hope everyone has been able to be a little bit more active since we've had, the snow melt and the ice melt, because really, let's just face it, the ice is the most dangerous of it all. And so I just want to make sure that everybody's okay and everybody has made it. And then a cute pin, supporting my friend Ryan with this pin. It's cute. So I just want to make sure everybody's good. And I want to talk to you a little bit about theater class. And the main thing that we're going to talk about today is something that people always ask because they're not sure. They say, well, I think my child is ready for theater class. I'm not really sure, though. I don't want to make them do something that they don't want to do, or I don't know how they'll react if they're put in the class. I don't know if they're ready to be around other people in the class. So I've come up with 3 ways to tell if your child is ready for theater class, okay? And after you listen to these 3, you might go, yeah, pretty much they're ready. Because these are 3 surefire ways to tell. The first one is a big one. If instead of pop music or like mainstream music, your child is just listening to Disney or show tunes, that's a pretty big indication. Yeah. If that is your child, in the comments, give me a "that's my kid." Okay, write that for me. That's my kid. If this is your kid who every time you turn around, they're not necessarily watching or listening to mainstream music, but they're heavy into show tunes and Disney soundtracks. Hey, Jenny. Thanks for popping in, Jen. So if that's your kid, just give me a "that's my kid" in the comments. Also, if you're watching this in the replay, type in "replay" in the comments too. So I remember when I was growing up, and The Little Mermaid came out, and I remember being at the kitchen table in the morning before school and singing "Part of Your World," right? And I was singing it while I was eating my probably Cocoa Puffs, because I am still obsessed as an adult with Cocoa Puffs. And I remember eating it and singing it. And I remember my mom, she was getting dressed like in the bedroom, and she was like, "Oh, yay, that was so great. Sing it again." And my older sister from the living room shouts, "No, don't." And then what did I do? Being the little sister, of course I sang it again because my mom said it sounded great. And, she'll even tell you that when I was little, I would listen to Disney songs and sing soundtracks. And I was always reading scripts and reading all types of stuff all the time when I was young. And so if you have a child who does that, and who does it with or without an audience, like they could be in their room and you overhear it, or they could be just like in the back seat, something like that, they're probably ready to take it to the next level, especially if it's constant, if it's an everyday thing, and you're like, wow, they sound pretty good. Or if you're like, I think they need a little work, that's okay too. That's what theater class is for. We often have kids and teens who come in who have never sang or acted in front of other people. So what happens is they come to class, and at first sometimes they're a little shy because obviously they're in a class full of people where, they don't know people. And then on top of that, you're asking them to do something that they usually do in the privacy of their own home or in front of their family. So they're scared of being judged. But the beauty about DAP is we come in here, and the first thing we tell everybody is this is a judgment-free zone. We're all still learning, from the kids to the adults. We're all still learning. And We have a no bully policy and no judgment policy. We're all here to help one another get better. And so usually they start to warm up, like we do a lot of improv games and things like that. And once they see everybody else is barking like a dog, then they join right on in, you know? And at first it's like, oh gosh, this is so silly. And then it becomes fun and then they understand. And it just ends up being a great time. So if you have a child who's just listening to, you know, show tunes all the time and Disney and singing it like word for word, it's time. Just go on and roll them. The next one I have for you is if they can act out scenes from movies and TV shows. It's time to, if you do and you have a child like that, in the comments, give me a "that's my kid," because you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, kids are visual learners, especially at the beginning. You know, they mimic what they see. We see that all the time and what they hear. So it's the same thing with theater and TV and film. So how many times have your child come up and said like, oh, Mom, watch this part. This was on such and such the other day. Or I remember this part when I saw this show on stage and, you know, this and that. Like that's a sign they need to be in class for sure. Also, if they can reenact a whole scene and they can be each character in that scene, it's time to put them in theater class. Like if they have different voices and things like that for each character, come on. Like you gotta foster that. There's something there. If they can do that. And then if you have, let's say, they try to get you, hi Tanika, hi Tasha, if they try to get you to act out the scenes, okay? You know how like a child will be like, okay, mommy, you stand here, daddy, you stand there, and okay, I'm gonna put little sissy here, and they tell you what to do in the scene. Guess what? You've got yourself a little director. And you know where they need to be? In theater class. They do. They just need to be there. Because all of those things are showing you that they have an interest in it. And it might be time to take it to the next level. If they're in a show at school and they know everyone else's lines and theirs, they need to be in theater class. That's a sure sign. That happened to me. I was in 4th grade and we were doing like a Christmas show or something like that. And I had a little tiny part, but I was just happy because I got a part. But I knew everybody else's lines and I knew the main girl, Mary. I kind of just knew her lines. And I remember being in a rehearsal. Excuse me. I remember being in a rehearsal and the teacher saying, okay, she's talking to the little girl and the little girl didn't know her lines. And I was back there kind of like just saying them to myself. And I didn't think anybody could hear me. And she was like, Mimi, do you know her lines? I was like, yeah. She was like, can you come up here and do it? And I did it. And she ended up giving me the part. So I went from having like a 1-line part to like the lead. It was crazy. That girl, she hated me after that. And and it was really like at the time I didn't know, I didn't do it like maliciously because I just thought, well, I knew it. So they asked me to do it. So I did it. You know what I mean? But at the time, I never, hey Connie, how you doing? Oh, thank you, Connie. I appreciate that. I just never really thought about it that way. Like I never thought that I was doing it to be mean or doing it to steal a part or anything like that. And she would call me a part stealer. And it wasn't on purpose. I just knew the girl's lines. So if that's something else that your child does, and they come home and they've learned everybody's lines, including their own, it's time. You know what I mean? Like it's time for them to get into theater class. And the great part about that is they come in already with an imagination. They're ready. They're willing to work. Their creativity is usually through the roof. And sometimes it's so much that we give them the opportunity to create and, you know, put the input in like, okay, well, let's try it this way. Let's try it that way, because we don't want to stifle creativity here. That's not what we're about. We're a creative arts, you know, performing arts space. So we like to keep that creativity flowing. So if any of those apply to your children, you need to get them in here. You need to get them in a theater class. This last one, it's going to sound kind of strange for those of you who don't know this show, but if they have this Hamilton soundtrack on repeat, your child needs to be in theater yesterday, okay? Like, if they are listening to Hamilton, an American musical, on repeat, they need to be here like yesterday. Not only are they the coolest child in the history of children, but they are smart, they are inventive, they are creative, they have a great eye and a great ear for talent and music and dance and all of those things. I'm just telling you. And really, not even just this one. Any sort of show tune album or Broadway cast, especially one that you as a parent haven't heard of. If they're listening to shows like Dogfight, like my teenagers, like Dogfight or something like that, and you're like, I've never heard of that. I'm sure some of you right now are like, never heard of it. If you've heard of it, give me a I like Dogfight in the comments. If you haven't, give me a what are you talking about in the comments, so that I know. But if they're listening to Hamilton or anything like that, hi Mary. If they're listening to Hamilton or anything like that, it's time to get them into theater. Because trust me when I tell you, they have already in their minds mapped out the entire show. They've cast all their friends in different parts. They've probably put themselves in it. I personally see myself as an Aaron Burr, just saying. They have in their brain gone through the way they think this show should look or the way they think it looks on Broadway. They've watched all the clips. They've watched all the behind the scenes. And again, that's not just for Hamilton. That goes for any musical obsession that your child has right now at this moment. So if that is the case, get them into theater class, okay? Because they need to be there. So where can I do theater class? Funny you should ask. You can do theater class with us here, DAP. We have classes ages 5 to 9 and then ages 10 to 16. The difference that we have, and I guess I am being a little biased, but you know, it's my company. Hi, Elizabeth. Is that, hey, Mama. That's my mom, guys. She sews all of our costumes here at DAP. She's awesome. Hey, Ma. The thing is, here at DAP, we are the only theater company, okay, outside of school. We're not talking about schools. We're talking about like outside of schools. We are the only theater company in Jacksonville, North Carolina, who has qualified, professional, educated adult staff. My instructors either all have degrees or all have equivalent experience in the fields that they are teaching. So this is not a hobby for us. We all went to school for this because we love it so very much. And we just want to pass it along to your kids because we know there's kids out there who love it as much as we do. I grew up in Jacksonville. And what I wanted to do after I finished touring and everything, I wanted to come back and I wanted to create a program that I wish I'd had growing up. That I wish that I could say, Ma, I'm going to be in theater class this spring, or hey, I got summer camp coming. I wish I had that outside of school, and I didn't have it. So I wanted to make sure that when I came back, I was going to create something for the community, for these kids to have an outlet. So that's what we're doing. And not only did I want to create it, I wanted to create it and make sure that you were getting top-notch information and from teachers who know what they're talking about, who know what they're doing, who are experienced professional people who have been paid to do this, who have been trained to do this. So we're taking registration right now. You can go to our website, or you know what, I'll give you the website right now. Spring classes, we have 2 sessions. The first one starts in February, and then the second one will be in April. Sorry, am I the only other person who can't like type and text at the same time? Like I mean, and talk at the same time. I can't do it. It's like impossible. I'm horrible. There, you can go there and you can register your child. And you can kind of see the breakdown of like the classes and the way we do them, and you can kind of, you know, register your child. And also because we're having open house this weekend. So if you're still on the fence and you're still not really sure if you want to register, come by anytime between 12 and 3 p.m. this Saturday and meet our instructors for yourself. And like I always say, I always say, if you don't think we're the right fit for you, we will try and find someone who fits what you're looking for, who is legit and who has the background and the professionalism and who fits what you're looking for. So, but I think we got what you want over here. Pretty sure we do. So make sure you check us out. Open house. You can come talk to our instructors. You can come tour the space, tour the studio. We're going to have like all types of yummy things here. We're going to have great local vendors here. They're going to be selling their thing because we love to support small business as being a small business and a community theater. So we're inviting the community to come hang out with us and come ask questions about classes or anything else you'd like to ask and meet your child's instructor. And we're going to be giving some giveaways out and some discount cards, all types of stuff. So come out, come check us out this Saturday from 12 to 3. And if you had fun today on live, or thank you for hanging out, then just give me a yay, good job, or keep it up, like Connie said. If you want more live videos, we'll keep doing them. And we'll pick a topic, or you pick a topic, and let us know what you want to talk about. Because trust me, we have a lot to talk about here. The arts are starting to flourish in Onslow County, and I love it. Everything from theater to actual like art and pottery and visual journaling and clay and jewelry and culinary arts and all types of things. And I think it's a wonderful thing. We need it. So thank you guys so very much. And try to, well, it's kind of warm today. I was going to say trying to stay warm. That doesn't make any sense because it's warm today. Stay dry because it's raining. Here we go. And have a great rest of your day. See you Saturday. All right. Bye.